Good day, I'm Lyndon Rode from NCC Environmental Services. I'm the Chief Operating Officer. The business is owned and run by three partners, myself, Dean Ferreira and Justin Miller. Our business was established in 2003 by our MD, Dean Ferreira. He previously worked for a big government organization and he saw a niche in the market for conservation services for private landowners as well as government organizations. Our vision is real growth for people, planet and business. We believe in investing in our people because we know ultimately that will be the best for the environment. This is instrumental by the fact that many of our ex-staff and current colleagues are playing major roles and leading environmental sectors for international businesses. Our services range from biodiversity and conservation services, environmental management, health and safety, wildlife management, and training. Within the biodiversity and conservation sector, we supply a range of conservation managers to manage private estates and supply specialist search and rescue services. We also supply environmental management, and we have a range of experience in the sector, from supplying environmental managers and environmental control officers to large infrastructure development as well as for private developments. We do environmental impact assessments, audits, and a range of other services in this field. Another one of our services is the wildland firefighting services, where we supply firefighters type 1, 2 and 3 to private landowners as well as government organizations. Within the wildland firefighting services, we have the Juliet crew, which is the first all-woman firefighting crew. This idea was born by the need to change what this industry looked like. And our MD, Dean Ferreira, was the main driving force behind it. Currently, there's about 12% of firefighters being women internationally, and about 30% being women in Africa. And our goal or dream is to have male and female stand shoulder to shoulder, fighting fires, and people not seeing them by gender, but seeing firefighters, making a difference. Within the health and safety service, we supply environmental managers, environmental officers, and environmental agents. And we help with risk assessments and making sure that the site stays safe and everybody is able to go home at the end of the day. Within wildlife management, our biggest project at the moment is managing the urban baboon project, where we're keeping wild baboons out of the urban area. We use this by employing about 80 staff members, and they use a range of tools from paintball markers to bear bangers to push the baboons from the urban site, to keep them safe and to keep the urban area and the people safe. Within the film and events and sports sector, we supply environmental services, health and safety services, and wildlife management services. We help them with the planning, logistics, and we ensure that the site isn't degraded or left in a worse state than before the event. The grant fund enabled us to offer permanent positions to some staff, and this helped us and them to grow the business. The soft loan enabled us to continue paying staff during the COVID period, during the national lockdown. We were privileged enough not to have to retrench any staff during this period, and all staff were able to receive their full salaries. The grant fund also allowed us to purchase or procure a few vehicles. These vehicles are instrumental in delivering of services within the communities, and it was specifically important when we had the taxi strikes and during the period, because we were able to still collect our staff, delivering to the site, to keep the baboons out of the urban area. So the baboons were safer, the communities were happier, and staff were still able to receive their income. In 2020, when we applied for the CDI fund, our staff numbers were 30 permanent, and our total staff complement was about 130. That included fixed-term contractors and seasonal workers. Our latest staff count in October 2022, our permanent numbers are 139, and our total staff complement is at about 676 staff members. That's about 540 more staff than 2 years ago this time. The fund also allowed us to grow our income, so our growth went up with about 16%, and this is instrumental for us, or we're quite proud of this, specifically because we survived the tough COVID times when lots of companies had to close their doors and when the industry development was quite slow. It's clear that the CDI team understand their requirements to their funder, and it's also clear that they like working with the enterprises. They want these businesses to succeed. I really enjoyed the structure that came with it. There were set deadlines for reporting, and there were set templates. So I really appreciated and enjoyed working with the guys. And the fact that they were always available, whether it was on a Sunday evening or Monday morning first thing, they were always available to answer questions or to guide you through the process. When this funding became available, we weren't sure if we're going to make it. We didn't even sure if we complied to all the requirements. But the only thing I can say to the people wondering this or considering this out there, you need to be in it to win it. Take the chance, jump, put the effort into answering their questions, and if you tick the box, well, then you're winning. If you don't, I'm sure they can guide you to a different provider.